Orthoneurotechnologies is a privately held, American family-owned company with a single mission: to enhance and elevate the profession by combining the most modern electromechanical technological achievements with the solid body of research proving the efficacy of the discipline. No other therapeutic modality has better survived the test of time and investigation, and no other profession has demonstrated a brighter future. Thanks to the doctors and research scientists who came before us, many of whom continue to serve the profession and to steer our metaphorical ship, the major battles have been fought and won, and the research has been meticulously conducted and published to elevate the discipline to the level of professionalism that we enjoy today. There's never been a better time in history to be a doctor of chiropractic. Retrospectively, it would be fair to say that the Dynadjust project was born out of frustration. In my first year, about 1987, 88, we were watching an explosion in computer technology, and yet we were still doing practice drills thrusting into tables in thin air, and basically we were frustrated. We knew there had to be a better way, and when we complained about it, one of the instructors actually challenged us to see what we could do about it. We looked at the various other disciplines and quickly observed that there were many ongoing efforts to develop human analog technology to help them in their training and enhancing their level of skills. We very quickly decided that it would be counterproductive to build an anatomical analog. As I think everyone would agree, there's no possible substitute for the human body when it comes to developing the necessary palpation acumen. As doctors and students, we must palpate thousands of bodies, both normal and abnormal and everything in between, in order to master our art. The analogy of the surgeon is appropriate here. The surgeon may graduate at the top of his class and have intimate knowledge of his procedures, but if he can't wield the blade, he can't perform a surgery. Instead, we concentrated on designing the ultimate system for developing our most unique asset, our HVLA adjusting skills, and the Dynadjust Odyssey began. So with that in mind, we knew that job one was to define skill.
They came up with 5 words. Is that a good procedure is fast, it is forceful or has force, it is precise, it is confident, and it is comfortable.
Our goal was to create a light, portable, wireless, and ergonomically designed instrument and integrated support system capable of measuring every aspect of the actual dynamics of the manipulative thrust, and it must do so in any doctor-patient positioning. It would need to be capable of providing useful, accurate, objective feedback in real time. It should provide variable resistance settings and infinitely variable parameter settings for use in simulating and training for any HVLA thrusting procedure. The system should be capable of collecting, analyzing, and cataloging the skill development of the doctor or student in the adjusting labs or as continuing education programs for licensed practitioners through an interactive web-based service center. Once we had a solid, viable version of our concept in hand, we conducted a 2-year-long feasibility study in which we visited nearly all of the chiropractic colleges on the continent and demonstrated our technology. The verdict was unanimous. Our concept was fully accepted, and the excitement, especially among technique professors and students, was palpable. And of course, a literature search demonstrated that there were plenty of other people out there from across the disciplines who were investigating the effects of training on machines and having that skill translate to skill in treating human beings. Dr. Triano designed and conducted his study at Texas Chiropractic College using 38 students.
I put the biggest barriers in front of the Dynadjust I could find and still be reasonable. Okay.
Half of the students trained with the Dynadjust device and half trained with the standard curriculum. The results of the study were surprising even to Dr. Triano and the Dynadjust team. In fact, with one of the most important aspects of spinal manipulation skill, the speed of the thrust, the men who trained with the instrument were 9 times as proficient, and the women were 18 times more proficient than the research subjects who did not train with the Dynadjust instrument during that study. And similar results were demonstrated with other parameters. We were very interested in that gender bias finding because extrapolated out, it shows the power of the system in that a person with lesser development and lesser skills, everyone has a different starting point. But it demonstrated that the power of the system to enhance those skills, no matter where your starting point is, was very, very important.
We're looking at how much better did one group get than another. But in the process of getting better on some parameter or another, the people without the Dynadjust actually lost elements of skill as it relates to this parameter, as it relates to the duration on this axis. So a very clear differential between the groups.
The explanation was actually very simple. He explained to me that when a person concentrates on one aspect, such as line of drive or depth of thrust, If they concentrate on that to the exclusion of the other parameters, they can lose skill, and that's why the Dynadjust shines, because the Dynadjust monitors every aspect and gives you the results of every thrust in real time, objective data that can be analyzed and corrected for deficits in real time with every single thrust. Dr. Triano's work was published in JMPT in 2 separate installments in 2002 and 2003.
We now, I submit, based on the data I'm about to show you, can quantify and validate individual skill performance so that you can say that this student is high quality. And we can represent where no other profession is capable of doing it, that this student qualifies, he should be licensed.
We were granted permission to interview the student test subjects on the day that they tested for the last time and turned in their Dynadjust instruments. Every student subject at the Texas Chiropractic College study reported that from their perspective, the Dynadjust system was a faster, safer, and more complete and efficient method for training for the psychomotor skills, and that it should be adopted immediately. There was not a single dissenter in the group. So that was what we learned. We learned that in order for our instrument and service center and all of the elaborate support systems that we'd set up, in order for it to have the effect we wanted, it would have to measure every parameter, not just some. It would have to be able to stand alone. A person should be able to use it at home or in the class or whatever, and have every single parameter measured and verifiable with objective data immediately. And so we had to go back to the drawing board. We literally had to start over. But Dr. Triano told us what to expect if we got it right.
If the school can be convinced to embed this in its curriculum, that you will see its use start out in the first semesters related to training, then it will jump into the clinic, and it'll be a part of the entrance tests for getting into the clinic, and then it'll jump to exit when you get out of the clinic, and then it could even jump to licensure in the States.
So with these things in mind, knowing that we may have the opportunity to co-venture with schools to provide our technology for the benefit of the schools in terms of producing online continuing education courses and providing the technology to the students in the school, and maybe even to regulating bodies and insurance bodies, the advent of the internet was near. Online continuing education was in its infancy, but it was definitely coming. We went back to the drawing board and redesigned the Dynadjust to meet those challenges. We completely redesigned the instruments. The new instruments and systems don't share a single component with the old ones, nor a single line of code. And we tested those instruments and systems at Canadian Memorial Chiropractic College, and we learned an awful lot, and we fixed a few bugs. But the end product is something that we're very, very proud of. After nearly 25 years of research and development, the Dynadjust Spinal Manipulation Training System and interactive online continuing education programs have earned accreditation. This means that for the first time in history, you have the ability to enhance your adjusting skills and expand your techniques with our amazing and fun-to-use instruments, and enjoy up-to-the-minute educational programs in any combination that you choose at any time and from any location. The Dynadjust instrument comes with a convenient carrying case. It stores up to 3 hours of exercise data and has very long battery life. The Dynadjust kits even come with special accessories designed to maximize the exercise regimens and to develop muscle strength and endurance in the very specific muscle groups utilized in spinal manipulation training. The Dynadjust instrument comes with 12 pre-programmed parameter settings, each with different depths for simulating tissue pull or pre-manipulative tension, and the depths of the thrusts either in standard mode or recoil style exercises. The parameter settings also have variable margins for error to monitor the loss of pre-manipulative tension, insufficient depth of thrust, or excessive depth of thrust. The device measures the precision of the direction of the thrust and even measures thrusts which incorporate combined motion in all 3 axes. The velocity and force of the thrust is also recorded, and all of this objective feedback is available to the user in real time. The user can design and program the instrument with custom parameter settings for even more individualized exercise regimens. The result is an enjoyable, personalized training regimen utilizing both isometric and dynamic exercises, targeting the exact muscle groups used in any adjusting procedure in any treatment posture to develop and enhance strength, endurance, precision, and speed.